Hello everyone, Violet here, and we are at the end of NaNoWriMo. It is now December. Whoa. I almost wanted to say October. That is like very indicative of the time warp that I feel like I've actually been in this past month. So yeah, I wanted to give you all an update on how NaNoWriMo went for me. It was completely unexpected. Arthur is literally snoring in the back seat, so if you hear anything, that's what it is. It is day, I don't even want to tell you actually what day it is of NaNoWriMo because I am so behind and I don't want you to like not believe in me. But I have only written 5,000 words at this point of NaNoWriMo, so I have some unexpected couple of hours here with Arthur asleep in the car. So I'm gonna buckle down and write as much as possible. And I'll come back on and tell you how many words I get done in like one little one's nap time. It's funny, I'm someone who doesn't drink coffee. Like I don't, coffee does not do well with me in my system. But when I get really stressed out, I do fall back into old habits where I used to be like super addicted to coffee. And that has happened recently. And then I started to do better. And anyway, I have a cup of coffee here. And this is my last one. I'm recording it on video online. This is my last cup of coffee. So cheers. At least caffeinated cup of coffee. I'll give you that. But I'm gonna use it to its highest potential. I'm gonna super focus. So yeah, I'll see you on the other side. So I didn't get to do an update earlier, but I wrote about 1,700 words, and then Arthur woke up totally like screaming and so upset. So I had to deal with that, and I am now at my very first ever in-person NaNoWriMo event. So I'm about to go meet people for the first time, and I hope that I can vlog a little bit in there, but I'm also like afraid of being awkward or like, I don't know, well, I'll just have to feel it out socially, but I am actually quite shy. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm so excited to like do something in person with people. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna go in there. Okay, I just set my camera down, so this might just be audio, but I'm leaving IHOP now, and oh my gosh, it was so amazing. It was like such a wonderful group of people, and I wasn't even sure exactly where I was going, and then suddenly, okay, which direction am I going? This way? Suddenly all of these people, like I just had a laptop, and they just knew that must be what I was there for, and they all greeted me, and it was just so lovely. And apparently they do this Sundays all year round. So, okay, we're going the right way, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely have to come more often, and maybe this will be how I actually get my novels like edited. So I had what I would say is pretty terrible luck in November. Not to make it like a pity party, but I was probably like super sick for a good 70% of the month. At the beginning and at the end. I got sick with two different things, and I had a window of time like right in the middle where I was doing pretty well, and that's when I was like doing the you know, the sprint stream and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I was pretty sick, and the thing is like it wasn't just like, oh, now I'm sick. It's also like, oh, Arthur's sick, so now I have, you know, I'm caring for my toddler, and it was just this whole thing. But I still was able to write. I didn't completely, at any point of the month, completely stop writing, which was a big win for me, especially when I look at last year, where I think that emotionally I was doing so terrible last year, But physically, obviously, like way better. I don't think I got sick in November last year. But last year I would crash emotionally and then I just like wouldn't be able to write. And that was not the case this year. I actually felt very inspired, but I was doing what I could do, like what my energy would allow me to do. So the other piece of like really bad luck that happened in November was my computer broke. And yeah, maybe I'll show an image of it, but Arthur kind of smashed it. And I definitely had it in his, vicinity where this could happen, as I do often and don't really think about it, but definitely because I was like, on my computer more and writing on it more. So taking away the tool in which I like write things on, it felt pretty debilitating. Something really good came of this, and so I'll tell you about that in a moment. So that was the bad luck that I was dealing with. So now I'm going to tell you the wins of this month. On just kind of a more literal sense, my goal, which was to write Act 2 of my novel I'm working on, which is kind of a magical realism novel. I will link the video if you want to hear more about what I'm working on. But I completed that. Did I make 50K in the month? No, I did not win NaNoWriMo this year. But hey, I did way better than last year. And now I want to tell you my like big win from this. There are two big wins, but they kind of go together in a sense where I feel really inspired now to write not just in November, which might sound crazy that that's kind of what I was doing before, is like that was the time that I would write, and the rest of the year I have so many things I like to do and so many projects, so I'm like always overloaded with projects. So anyway, I usually like write during NaNoWriMo when there's the community, where there's the energy behind it, and then otherwise I kind of don't. And now I feel really inspired to do this year round. So that's a huge win. And I've come up with an idea of how I want to work this next year. I'm going to do a whole video on that. But one of the things that really inspired me for this was that I found a group, a local writing group. So they participate in NaNoWriMo, but they actually meet all year round. And it was just so, during that window of time in the middle of the month when I was feeling okay, I went to an in-person meeting. It was amazing, and I just loved the energy. I loved the people that I met so much. They meet all year round, like I said, so I'm gonna keep going. And my plan right now is like, I hope to go and meet up with them at least once a month and like do some work like that, and also write in the evenings. Also, in a way, I feel like I've established some really good writing habits that I can keep coming back to despite it all, which actually kind of proved it to me. Like, okay, if I am like sick and feeling like really overwhelmed in all these different directions and things in my life, and I still want to like pull out my device and write a little bit, that is a huge indicator that this is something I can really just like weave into my life. So I'm gonna keep doing it. So now let me tell you the really fun part. So obviously I had to get a new computer because mine broke and I work entirely online. So that was a necessity, and we found a refurbished computer. We figured out a payment plan for it, but let me know if you all do this. If this is totally irresponsible, like this might, I'm just gonna confess, okay? And please tell me if you relate to this, but do you ever like put stuff and it's on a payment plan and you're like, all right, well, I'm committing to paying this amount per month for however long. Is there anything else that would make my life really awesome? That wouldn't add much more to the monthly payment, but like I could put it on the same, transaction or whatever. Because I did that, and luckily, my husband was like super supportive and all in favor of this. But I fell in love with this device that I briefly saw at the writing event because the person actually, I think, who leads the event had one of these. It's called a free write. And if you all know, like, I don't use a smartphone. My phone has an inky screen like a Kindle. I don't even like make it light up in the background, so it's literally just like text. I love Kindle screens. I use my Kindle all the time. This is like a writing device with a Kindle screen. And the version that I got, I'll show you more about this, but yeah, basically it uploads your work when it's connected to Wi-Fi. It'll just upload it to the cloud, so then you can pull it off of there and edit it, you know? But when you're just like getting words in, it's this beautiful little portable, adorable device. And you can just like, I found myself, I pulled it out in the waiting room at the doctor's office. I pulled it out, you know, I can't even think. There's so many. I'll have to do a whole video on this thing because I just love it. But anyway, it feels like, you know, I could take this around with me very easily. It's much smaller than my laptop, and it's the kind of thing that, like, no matter where I am, I feel like I could just sort of pull it out in the same way I would pull out a book and just like, you know, get some thoughts out. I feel like I'm gonna get so much more done. Also, it's really nice because I don't like to be too much on screens right before bed. So lighting a candle or turning on a nice like warm colored lamp and writing with that using this device. The train's always going by during my videos. But anyway, yes, I'm gonna incorporate it into my evening routine more as well. So this was a huge, huge, huge win, was getting this device. So thank you, Shannon, who, by the way, is the person who had one first, so. So essentially, did NaNoWriMo go how I wanted it to? No, and I didn't win, and it was like kind of a crappy month for a lot of reasons. However, did I get more out of NaNoWriMo than I was expecting? Yes. Oh, which I wanted to mention too, is that my plan was to write Act 3 of this novel next to NaNoWriMo. I'm now gonna do it in December. I'm just gonna keep going this next month and write Act 3 in December, so this novel will be done, the first draft, you know what I mean? It'll be ready to start like editing. I'll have a first draft of it. So that's my new goal, and it makes me very happy to just like want to keep going with it. So yeah, a lot of things got in the way, but I want to write more. So that's a huge win for me. So hey, let me know, how did NaNoWriMo go for you? Did you win? Did you meet your goals? What happened? I really want to hear all about it. And I will see you in the next video. So please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.